What's up, Whittier?
Welcome to What's Up, Whittier, a homegrown podcast.
A podcast to showcase Whittier's businesses, personalities, and hidden treasures.
Hey neighbors, producer Christine here. Did you know that I am a dancer in the Dancing with the Whittier Stars 2019 fundraiser for the Whittier Community Foundation? Well, I am. I came in 2 weeks ago. I think I got a phone call, like almost 2 weeks to the day, and from Rudy Hernandez, and now I'm doing it. I've had 5 rehearsals so far, and I've had a really nice frozen yogurt social at Rocky's. Thank you so much to Juanita. And I just really want to take a moment of gratitude to kind of thank everybody who's really participated in helping me reach my fundraising goal. In case you don't know, Dancing with the Whittier Stars is a fundraiser where you raise at least $2,500 to participate, and it's for the Whittier Community Foundation. And the Whittier Community Foundation is a local Whittier nonprofit, and they support many events and activities. For instance, they supported the Kaboom activity at Broadway Park, which was building the new park. They bought, they helped support the SWAT team recently. I went to their most recent meeting, and that was really cool. This is why I was honored to participate in Dancing with the Whittier Stars, because I do believe in Whittier Community Foundation and what they do for our community. So what better way to kind of give back to the community, through the community? I want to give a personal thank you to all of these people who either you've sent me Venmo, you are a corporate sponsor, I'm just super grateful. So here we go. Thank you to Fernando Lopez. He's actually running for City Council in District 1, so thank you so much for your support, Fernando. Thank you to Colonia Group and support of the WIPA radio station. Thank you guys. Thank you, Henry Tejada. He is a really cool guy, and I know him through the Bernie movement, so thank you, brother. Thank you to Claudia Prado. And Claudia also owns Shop the Runway, which is at 6704 Greenleaf Avenue. If your kids are looking for something for prom, or they just got some really beautiful accessories, and oh my god, if we're going to Vegas this summer, you definitely got to go there. The swimsuits are hot, and anyway, maybe you could go there, buy something for someone. There's also makeup. She got good lashes. Anyway, support Claudia. Thank you to Tina and Paul Kubasik. I work out with Tina and Paul, so I really appreciate their support so much. Thank you to Darcy Harlan, my trainer. Thank you to Tracy Nishizu. I also work out with her. Thank you to this wonderful woman from US Foods. And I left your business card in the office, so when I get it, I'll give you a personal shout out on our Instagram. So thank you so much. I'm very grateful. I was telling her at Wake Up Whittier that I got, asked the week before, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, well, I only have a $5 bill. Is that okay?" And I was like, "Absolutely. I'm super grateful." So thank you so much. That really makes a difference. It really makes a difference. It's honestly, it's the difference between $2,499 and $2,500, right? Okay, so thank you to Tracy Nishizu. I also work out with Tracy. Thank you so much to Cindy from Taco Nazo in Bellflower. Shout out to them. Guys, Cindy is really awesome, you guys. She's great. Thank you so much. Women empowering women right there. Thank you to Ale Gallegos. She is a family friend and really big, women supporting women. I love it. Thank you to Chris Alvarado. We went to college together, and we also live in Whittier. I love it. Thank you to Brenda from Puptown Dog Boutique. You can follow her on Instagram. She makes the cutest little doggy accessories. So it's so cute because she did an Easter collection, right? And so she was posting all of these photos of all of her clients wearing the bows. And oh my god, if you just want to feel good about looking at dogs, you should follow Puptown Dog Boutique. And thank you so much to Brenda Mendoza from Sleepy Teepee. I really, really do appreciate her support. Brenda is another women empowering women. And it's really cool because I've met all of, when I say women empowering women, it's because I have met these women at, women empowerment events through networking. So it's really cool. Those types of events are really worth it, people. It's if you're into networking, or even if you're a little shy, once you start networking, it's great. Thank you to the Cohen family, which is my Uncle Dennis, Aunt Stephanie, cousins Amy, Sam, and Jeffrey. Thank you so much to Juanita and Robert Velasco. You guys, I really appreciate you so much. In case you didn't know, Juanita is the awesome owner of Rocky's Frozen Yogurt. So, and again, thank you to Rocky's Frozen Yogurt, who's also a corporate sponsor. So I'm super grateful for you, Juanita. And we also hosted the Frozen Yogurt social there. So thank you so much. And I know this is taking a long time, everybody, and you really want to get to the interview. But this is a moment to express my gratitude. And if you also want to contribute to the cause, let me know. You can follow me at The Singing Moon on Instagram and send me a personal message, or you can go on Venmo and look up at Christine-Singer-Luna. Send me something, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. And I just want to give a special shout out. Thank you to all of my corporate sponsors who all came together, and we are buying a half-page ad in the program. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to, again, Juanita from Rocky's Frozen Yogurt. She's just the best. Everybody has to go to Rocky's Frozen Yogurt. It is just like in the most perfect frozen yogurt small town shop that Whittier is proud to have. So thank you, Juanita, and everybody should go check out at Rocky's Frozen Yogurt on Instagram. Thank you to Remo the Realtor, Remo, thank you so much for everything. I probably wouldn't even be doing this show without your support in the first place. Remo was the one who said, okay, let's make a meeting about doing a podcast. So thank you, Remo. Thank you so much to Jessie, and I really wouldn't be here without you either, because your office is where I do most of my work from. So thank you so much, Jessie. You too. I mean, I really wouldn't be here without you. You and Remo have been such great supporters of mine. I'm going to get emotional, but I'm not going to. Thank you guys really so much. Obviously, I wouldn't be representing What's Up Whittier without you guys, my partners in What's Up Whittier. So thank you. And also, Jessie, an extra special thank you, because you also bought raffle tickets that we gave away at the Frozen Yogurt Social, and you were also there to support. So thank you again. Thank you so much to Eva Macias. You guys can check out Eva Macias' Wealthy Wednesday every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eva taught me about abundance, so I am very grateful for her. And, you know, she's always very giving, and, you know, I've learned so much just by working with her, and I'm very grateful to know her. So thank you so much for your support, Eva. Thank you so much to James from JO3_virtual_golf. Did you know that virtual golf is coming to Uptown Whittier at the Knotted Apron? Well, why don't you go over, follow James on Instagram and again, that's at JO3_virtual_golf, so you can learn a little bit more about what's coming up with virtual golf. This is like for beginners, you know, if you just want to hang out at the Knotted Apron, because first of all, the Knotted Apron's cool, and if you just want to kind of book it for a private party, you can do that. So head on over to Instagram and follow at JO3_virtual_golf. Thank you to my dear friend Carla Morel, soon to be Dr. Carla Rodriguez Morel. I'm so proud of her. Thank you so much, Carla. She is from Camino Counseling Center, located at 14408 East Whittier Boulevard. So if you want more information, you can go to the website caminocounseling.com. Thank you so much to Marissa from Cielo Beauty Bar. You can visit Marissa at Cielo Beauty Bar, which is located on Greenleaf Avenue, right next to Mimo's, a little bit north of Philadelphia. Beautiful place. I like to go there for my tanning services and waxing services and like nail services and everything that she does. I may be getting, a lash lift or something. That looks really cool. So thank you so much, Marissa, for your support. Marissa's also been a big supporter. Marissa actually supported me before Remo and Jess. It's not a contest, but Marissa supported me by being on my first podcast that I produced called Dr. Odyssey. So thank you, Marissa, for all of your support all this time later. Thank you so much to my friend Kirk for all of your support. Kirk is a really good friend. Not only has he contributed in like buying a shirt and just own personal donations, he is the operations manager of United Service Solutions in Santa Fe Springs. So thank you so much, Kirk, for your support in this manner. Thank you. Thank you so much to Albert from Sage Restaurant and Lounge. I've known Albert for a few years now. I know him through the Bernie movement. He's Canadian, so he doesn't really have a stance on who should be president, but that's a different story. Thank you so much, Albert, for your support. And last but not least, I want to give big thanks to my it's not a contest, but this guy is my favorite. It's my dad. Thank you, Dad, from MS Locksmith. If you need a locksmith, give a call to 562-762-6859. He is a mobile locksmith in the city of Whittier. He does not work on cars, but if you need a key made, you can just don't go to a machine. Support my dad. It's like $2 and he'll make it for you. He can do stamped ones that say do not duplicate. He can do like locks. I don't know. You need a locksmith, call my dad, Mark Singer, MS Locksmith, at 562-762-6859. Again, thank you so much. My heart is full with gratitude for all of your support. Thank you guys. So next I want to give a big thanks to people who bought tickets. So thank you so much to Frank Perez. Frank is a really cool guy. I am selling tickets for $50 each. The show again is on May 8th at 7 p.m. And that includes dinner, unlimited beer and wine, and a cool show. And you get to see me dance the international rumba to Girl on Fire. Thank you so much to Whittier Woodworks for your generous donation of a 3-foot long charcuterie board. So what is a charcuterie board? Well, you can take it to parties. I love making charcuterie boards. You can put nuts and cheeses, and it's really nice. And like charcuterie, which is cured meats and salted meats, so that's really nice. Each raffle ticket is $5 a piece. So if you're interested, send me a personal message and let me know. Thank you to the following for participating. Thank you to my girl Crystal at The Pumping Pinup. Thank you to at Matt's Crazy Barbecue. Thank you to Noah Hardiman. Thank you to Chris Hardiman for taking his kids out to go to Rocky's Frozen Yogurt. And you guys, I had raffles of a raffle ticket, and they won a raffle ticket for the Whittier Woodworks. So that was really cool. So thank you guys for coming on down. Thank you so much to Anna Romero, the president of Bridge of Faith, who's also a past podcast guest. So thank you guys so much for your support. So like I mentioned, I had a yoga fundraiser on April 14th, and I'm going to have another one on April 28th. So that's going to be at 6704 Greenleaf Avenue, aka Shop the Runway. My girl Claudia's shop. Thank you so much, Claudia, again for your support. And Melanie Salas. Melanie is our yoga instructor. So that will be at 9:30 in the morning. So I just want to thank these women for coming out that first time, and it was literally like 2 days notice. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to my little sister Megan, who brought her friend Nat. And thank you, Claudia. Claudia didn't even have to like donate, but she did anyway, and I love you, friend. Thank you so much to Tony. She came out. She is my Instagram friend, and now we're like real life friends. So I really love how that happened. So that is a $15 donation, and our next one will be on April 28th. Thank you to the community for your support. This is a really cool raffle. One of our followers reached out. His name is Crazy Matt's Famous Barbecue at Crazy Matt's Barbecue on Instagram. And this is what he donated: 3 large family pack dinners. Yeah, you heard me right, 3 of them. So what does that come with? It comes with smoked beef tri-tip, 3 racks of baby back ribs, barbecue chicken, mac and cheese, barbecue beans, and potato salad. Do you have a family reunion coming up? What do you say, Mother's Day? Father's Day is coming up? Alrighty, he will totally do it for you. 48 hours notice on all orders. This is only a $10 raffle. And if you purchase 5 tickets for $50, and you'll get an additional, so $50 for 6 tickets. And I want to thank the following people for contributing to this raffle. Thank you so much to Pete Rodriguez. And Pete is a really cool guy. He actually told me that, if he wins this, then he'll do a barbecue for the kids out in Watts. And he really gives out a lot of his time to the community, which I also respect. So thank you so much, Pete. Thank you so much to Henry Huerta. Thank you also. And Henry came out to the yogurt social, which was really, really nice of him. And thank you so much. And his wife also bought a t-shirt, and I'll talk a little bit more about my t-shirts in a minute. So thank you so much, Henry, who I also know through the Bernie Sanders movement. Thank you so much to Ramiro Garate from Whittier Woodworks. Again, he donated the charcuterie board. He went to the yogurt social. He is contributing to this raffle, and he bought a t-shirt. I mean, my heart is very full with gratitude. Thank you so much, Ramiro. I really appreciate you. So thank you so much, Crazy Matt Barbecue, for that wonderful donation. Thank you so much. So this next fundraiser is a t-shirt fundraiser. It's really, really cool, and the one and only Ivy Love generously contributed her graphic design services to design this shirt. It says, "Christina's my comadre," and in the middle is a sketch of me. It's me wearing a dress for Dancing with the Whittier Stars, and there are stars around, so I'm super grateful for that. And I'm even more grateful of all of my friends who have supported. Thank you so much to Crystal. She was like, the second I posted it, she sent me a direct message that said, 2 of my favorite ladies, I'm getting it. So she instantly Venmoed me. Thank you so much, Crystal. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much to Carmen at the Balloon Maven. Ever since we met, we had a really cool connection, and we met at a women's empowerment event. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to Erica Carvajal. I met her through Michael Searle Fitness. So thank you so much, Erica. You've always been a big supporter. And she's also a big Ivy Love supporter. So thank you so much for this. Thank you to April Gallegos from La Pescadora in Uptown Whittier. If you haven't been to La Pescadora, you should definitely go there. It's right across the street from Whittier Village Cinemas. Thank you so much to my big sister, Heidi. I appreciate you, and you are my comadre. Literally, I love your daughters, so thank you. Thank you so much to my friend Carla, who is she's also a corporate sponsor for Camino Counseling. So thank you so much, Carla. And we are also doggy comadres. I dog sit for her, so I love. Shout out to Sunny, Nico, and Polly. I love those babies. Thank you so much, Jenny Orellana of Belesme, which is a t-shirt clothing brand which she made to empower her daughters, and I think it's so wonderful. She's also an Ivy Love supporter, and we met at an Ivy Love Women in Business event that I helped to coordinate with Ivy. So thank you so much, Jenny, for your support. Thank you so much to my girl Patty Rodriguez, and it's so funny that I met her through Carla. So we all met on Carla's bachelorette weekend in Palm Springs. Thank you to my mom, who is actually wearing her shirt right now. I love her so much. She is not my comadre, she's my actual madre, but she was totally rocking it right now. Thank you, Mom. And thank you to Fernando Lopez, the same Fernando who's running for City Council and is also a corporate sponsor. Thank you. Thank you so much to Alyssa Quevedo. She is a dear friend of mine. We went to high school together. We're still friends to this day. And she went to the Yogurt Social. And thank you so much to my girl Natalia. Natalia and I went to elementary school together. We hang out nowadays. It's pretty cool. Thank you so much, ladies, for your support. And they also went to the social. Thank you to Martha Huerta. Not only did she come to the fundraiser, the frozen Thank you so much to Martha Huerta. Not only did she come to the Frozen Yogurt Social, but she and her husband, Henry, have also contributed. So thank you so much for all of your, donations. Thank you so much. I also know them through the Bernie movement, so I really do appreciate your guys' support. Again, thank you to my girl, Juanita. So I'm super grateful for you, Juanita, and I actually met Juanita through Ivy. So it's super cool that networking, this is where it takes you, right? Thank you so much to my girl Brenda Mendoza of at Sleepy Teepee. Thank you to Cindy from Taco Nazo. And thank you so much to Emily. Okay, this is really, really cool because I know Emily through my nail lady. I don't know if you guys remember our Social Media Sunday podcast episode that we did way back in November, but we interviewed Ambi Nails and Nugs, and she does my manicures, and we're all in the same group chat, and she's like, girl, I see you hustling out there, and this is really cool. How do I support you? Can I Venmo you? And I sent her my Venmo, and she totally came through. So thank you, Emily, for your support. Alrighty, everybody. So with that, I am on my way to reaching my goals, and thank you so much for all of your support. I still have tickets for sale. Tickets are $50, and I totally talked about all my fundraisers. If you didn't have a chance to jot all of it down, don't worry. You can go to my website, ChristineSingerLuna.com. I'll post all of that information there. And then I will also post it in the show notes. And follow me on Instagram at The Singing Moon. And follow me on Facebook. You can like the page, Christine Singer Luna. And I'll post some of the details there. So thank you again, everybody, for your support. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much for downloading this podcast, which is how I even got into this in the first place. So again, thank you so much. And now, back to the podcast.
What's up, Whittier?
Dun, da, da, da. Jesse, get off your phone.
No, man. I got all the info here, man. Oh, well, here. Remo. How's your day going, by the way, man?
Oh, my day's good, Jesse. It's a little warm now, so it's not used to it.
By the way, man, on Sunday we had, no, it's not Sunday, Saturday. This past Saturday, man.
Yeah.
Your Easter egg hunt, that was awesome, man.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You had a cooking that day, that kid just killed it.
Yeah. So thank you, Jessie. We had a client appreciation event.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, and Jesse cooked all
See,
the
I got
hamburgers.
the invite, but I got it through.
Yeah, I was, Jesse, can you be the cook? Can you man the grill and cook hamburgers and hot dogs for 80, 90 people that we
That's
had
a lot
there?
of people, man.
Yeah, we had an Easter egg hunt and just a little bit to give back. The Easter Bunny made an appearance. So your kids came out.
Yeah.
They beat up the Easter Bunny, and I see where you get it from, where they get it from.
Yeah. No, they had a blast, man. That was awesome. It was a good day, too, man.
Yeah, thank you for cooking, Jesse.
There you go, man.
That was an indirect way of asking for a thank you.
Exactly.
Well, who do we got, Jesse? Who's our special guest today?
Well, hold on. So that was Sunday, and then we have
Dancing with the
obviously,
Whittier Stars. Right?
just
Taps
last
and tapas.
just last week we found out that our own producer here, Christine, is going to be part of Dancing with the Stars. So she's going to be representing What's Up Whittier and your...
Yeah, absolutely. So today's date is April 18th, so I've been doing it for a week. I've already gotten like a third of my fundraising goal, which I'm very thankful and grateful for. All of you out there, you're going to get a special shout out in this episode, so thank you so much. But if you want any more information, you can go to whittiercf.org/dancing, or you can follow me on social media at The Singing Moon, or you can go on Instagram and follow at What's Up Whittier. So you can learn a little bit more about sponsorship if you want to, or heck, I'll even throw my Venmo out there and you can slide $5 my way. Anything helps.
You got a couple of raffles, that's right? That's right.
Yes,
That's-
and I do have a couple of raffles. Thank you, Remo. So, and these are really great because all of these people reached out to me through social media, which I'm very grateful for again. So shout out to Crazy Matt's Barbecue, who is donating a large barbecue family pack. So that includes like 3 types of ribs, barbecue chicken, tri-tip, and it's going to have baked beans, mac and cheese, and potato salad. So it's like $200 value, $10 raffle tickets. If you buy 5 raffle tickets, so $50, you'll get one for free. So it's free $10 ticket.
So whoever wins, if you want to invite,
The What's Up Whittier crowd.
Absolutely, and we'll have our winning celebratory party catered by.
Jesse, just go ahead and buy 20 tickets and take care of this.
Yeah. Well,
But I was gonna say, I mean, maybe in the next couple episodes before the event, we should sit down and have that conversation of what is Whittier Dancing with the Whittier Stars. So I don't think everybody knows what it is and how this works and where the money goes too, because.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a fundraiser.
Absolutely. We're going to have an opportunity to talk to Rudy Hernandez and a couple of dancers that are going, and Maria as well. Rudy and Maria Hernandez are the choreographers of the event, and so we'll be talking a little bit to them about the process, because I don't know if you knew this, but Rudy and Maria are the partners for everybody. So there are 12 dancers, so they have to know 12 different routines. Some of them are a little bit more simpler, and then, of course, mine, because I used to do theater 12 years ago, it's a little bit more difficult with a lift.
You better
and all
win.
that.
If you don't win, you're out.
Okay, well, this is how you win: is whoever raises the most funds is the winner. And I've only had a week, and other people have had 4 months. So
No excuses, Christine.
Yeah,
no excuses.
I work good under pressure. And I'll just announce our last raffle that we're having is a charcuterie board, 3-foot-long charcuterie board. Thank you so much to Veronica and Ramiro Garate from Whittier Woodworks for donating that and sponsoring that. The value is $55, so we're selling $5 raffle tickets. If you buy 10 for $50, then you'll get 2 for free, 2 $5 tickets for free. So kind of, the idea is like if you spend $50 in raffle tickets, you'll get $10 in free raffle tickets.
See, the way you tell them is you gotta win the barbecue to share it on
the charcuterie. Boom. Well,
and then you invite us over.
I like that word, charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, he's like,
Cutting board.
Christine, can I put in my raffle for the board?
The board.
The board.
I wouldn't even know how to spell it. Not even say it.
Yeah. But thank you so much, guys, for letting me share a little bit about the raffle and the fundraiser for Dancing with the Whittier Stars.
All right, Jesse, let her rip.
Now you got to step up, Remo. I don't
Let her
know,
rip,
man.
Jesse.
I don't know.
No,
So-
I'll just buy a ticket.
There you go.
I'm not good at raffles.
Appreciate it.
Done.
Thank you.
Done. Remo, who are we interviewing today, man?
I'll let you.
Since you didn't let me have my note today.
Yeah. Well, it's with Brent with Dude Be Nice.
Yes, sir. Sirs.
Next,
Man.
and very close by. I mean, I think we knocked and you walked over.
Pretty much. I had no idea that you guys were
just
literally
cut
next
in
door
tra- you just
to
cut
our
in traffic.
office. So, yes, this was quite the commute.
Stuck in traffic, man. Brent, so I guess before you get into what is Do Be Nice, if you want to kind of speak or introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so my name's Brent Camalich, and I live here in Whittier. Grew up in Whittier, but went to college up at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and it was kind of like, I love Whittier, it's great, but I'm kind of off, and honestly never thought I'd be back to the homeland. But, went off and lived all up and down the West Coast, and I could share a little bit more about what I was up to after college. And then my wife and I ended up moving to the Seattle area, lived there for 5 years, bought a house, thought this is home. The weather sucked, like you hear, and we realized, man, we have a lot of good friends in California, and our family's down there. And so moved back, took a job in L.A. a few years ago, and then when we started Dude Be Nice, it was like the same time we were about to have kids, which, by the way, is a crazy thing to do, like start a business, quit your job, have kids all at the same time. Yeah. But did that, we're like, let's go back to Whittier. That's home, that's the hood, and here we are. So we've been back in Whittier for about 3 years now.
And you grew up here, you said. You went to school here locally.
Grew up in the Whitwood, what do they call that? The Whitwood track over there?
Yeah, the shopping center.
Below the boulevard. Never made it above the boulevard. So grew up in that neighborhood, and just have nothing but good memories growing up in Whittier and going to school here, and just playing in the streets, skateboarding, riding my bike, and so it's good to be back.
And you said you graduated from Lucerna, right?
Yeah, I went to Lucerna High School. A fun fact, a lot of people that know me in Whittier know my last name is Camalich, and so my dad was actually the high school principal at Lucerna for 22 years. And he was my principal, my sister's principal, my wife's principal, which is crazy and strange. And
so you never got in trouble?
I got, you'd think that. I mean, I was generally a pretty good kid, but there were a couple times legitimately I had to go talk to my dad because I got in trouble. I didn't kill anyone, so I didn't get kicked out, but it was a little awkward to
where you're like, I'm going to go see the principal, and you're like, it's my dad.
No, but my dad, you didn't want to see my dad, especially if you're his son, because he
expects more from you.
He was not happy. I did not get just a get out of jail free card. I don't know. There was some punishment involved.
Some lashings that happened.
In the principal's office, he wasn't going to get in trouble for it because he's a principal. No one's going to be complaining.
See, that's the worst one, though, man, because, how do you call in sick?
I didn't, but my sister, I was a pretty good, I like school. I like going to school. I was the kid that I generally enjoyed it. So missing a day kind of bummed me out. But my sisters, I know one of them got busted ditching, and my dad saw her driving in his car, up the street. I don't know what the deal was, but he was definitely
Was it
pissed.
dad that kicked in or principal that kicked in?
Both?
Dad. I think more dad. I think it was more, who does this kid think she is? Yeah. But they turned out all right. We all turned out okay. But definitely a unique experience for sure.
No, man, I'd say it's a good and a bad,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, I was an entrepreneur from day one, or maybe manipulative, because I'd be like, hey, Dad, Mom forgot to give me lunch money, and he'd hook me up with a $5, but I had another $5 in my pocket, so I was hoarding cash, and it was pretty cool.
Nice. Plus being in school, you guys are. You don't have to worry about being dropped off or picked up, or you're golden, man.
I was there, and I my best memories growing up were, because basically the year I was born, my dad became principal of Lucerna, so my life was going to football games, basketball games, different events, and I just loved being around the older kids and on campus, and it's probably part of the reason I do what I do now, because I just loved that experience of being on campus. It was fun.
So your dad would take you to school then?
I don't think maybe my freshman year, but I started driving pretty early, right away. So I had saved up money, and I don't even know if I saved up money. Anyway, I had his hand-me-down 1981 Volvo DL white. And so I started driving that pretty quickly. Or my sisters took me to school my freshman year. I basically tried not to be seen.
I would. You get out. He walks one way. He walked the other way.
Rarely did he take me to school like that. I drew the line.
I was gonna say at that age, it doesn't matter. You can have the more the worst car in the whole lot.
Yeah.
It could be a mom vehicle. It
didn't matter. I had a car,
wheels,
dude,
and
I had a CD player that I saved up money for, and I had a subwoofer. I was like, I'm tight.
Yeah.
This is dope. So I didn't care that it was a '81 Volvo. I I think it was great. You should never buy your kid a nice new car.
Yeah.
Like, they got to earn that.
That's right, man.
What was your high school car?
So I had a couple actually. That's what I'm saying. But it was cool because at that point it didn't matter what I was driving. Like everybody's like, "Dude, you got wheels? Let's go!" You know?
Heck yeah.
I had a Taurus wagon, which is a mom vehicle, and then
That means you just fit more
Dude,
people.
wagons are
in the
cool, man. You throw people in the back.
Yeah.
at that time I was cool. After thinking back, like, man, was I driving that thing?
Yeah.
And then between that and my dad handed me down his car, which is a Thunderbird newer car,
Nice.
which was nice, man. It was a big car, though,
Did
man.
it have
It's
the
like-
V8 in it?
It's a
It was
V8.
like
It's
fast,
long,
right?
man. But it was, yeah. And then, but between those two, at some point, I was driving my neighbor's car because he didn't have a driver license, so he had me drive to school. But it was like it was a beat up, like, I don't remember what the brand was on the car. It was a Ford something, a little hatchback. But same thing, man. Like the car from the outside, like it was being held up by duct tape.
Yeah.
But the sound system on that thing, man, it was like,
Yeah, it's all that
this guy
matters.
was rolling, man.
I remember my Volvo, if it ever rained, basically the brakes didn't work. I remember sliding, going down the Cerna Boulevard, literally sliding, probably, where like Talia's Coffee is
Yeah.
on Whittier Boulevard. I literally slid like probably 200 feet just right through the intersection, missed, just like right in between cars because the brakes, like it just lock up and I just slide. So I try not to drive when it rained. Good thing we live in California.
Yeah.
What did you drive, Remo?
I drove an '83 Oldsmobile Callus. Not
Oh,
I
Cutlass.
don't even know what a callus
Not
is.
Cutlass.
I have
Callus.
calluses on my hands.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
And it was gold. It was my brother's hand-me-down. I bought it for my brother for like $500. And my brother had taken like body shop, and he wasn't really good at it. So there was a fender that for some reason to take the dent out, he drilled holes with a drill gun. And he popped it out, and everyone thought it was bullet shots. So I was like the coolest, toughest dude because I had a car with bullet holes, and I would roll around.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did it have the little like rag top on it or
No.
or
Come on,
No?
I'm more classy than that. I'm just kidding.
No,
It was. I had tinted windows. It had a subwoofer as well. My brother.
Callus? I got to Google that. I
Yeah.
don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
Funny.
Ford. Wait.
Oldsmobile.
Yeah, it's a
Oldsmobile.
squared kind of
With the shifter up
Oldsmobile
here,
Callus.
and so when you're downshifting, you're like, bringing it all the way down.
Oh, that's...
And when you stopped, the car
Yes.
kind of did one of these.
Yeah,
No,
my grandpa had that car.
Yeah.
no, man, those are sweet
it's
cars.
the third
man.
one. So that third one, that's what it looked like.
Sweet.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was a G ride back in the days. So
And then 2 doors, man. That's just the worst.
No, mine was 4-door.
Oh, 4 doors,
Yeah.
nice.
The window only went down. We could start it now. The window only went down halfway in the back. So if you were like in the back seat, you can only get like this much space. So, anyways, all right.
Which is better than what we had, man.
That's a whole segment just talking about people's first cars.
I agree.
Like, and the memories they have in them. I got all sorts of memories. I crashed that car. Saved my life, actually. The Volvo, good thing they're safe. Crashed on Beach Boulevard when I was 16. Not a good day.
Yeah.
Principal Leo was not happy about that.
Brakes.
And I didn't have cell phone then, but it was because my brakes. I rear-ended and sent it's a bad day. 2 people to the hospital. It was not good.
Oh, man.
No one died, so we're good.
Yeah.
And the Volvos are heavy cars.
Yeah.
So if
I
you're
was
not
just-
stopping, what's stopping you is gonna get nailed
I was
pretty
just,
bad.
I just wasn't paying attention, talking to my buddy, and
Yeah. 16. that's-
16.
Yeah.
Oh man, fun stuff, man. You mentioned that your wife also was
Yeah.
here, and I mean,
Yes,
everybody around you is pretty much still.
Were you
come
guys
from
high school
hometown.
sweethearts?
No, so my wife is Jamie. She maiden name was Jamie Lawrence, and she, I've known her since 3rd grade. We went to preschool together. She didn't know it, but I say this, I'm not joking. She was like one of my first crushes that I remember. I just remember her, and I swear that that's the truth. She doesn't remember me, obviously.
They never do. Man.
But then we went to high school together, and we were just good friends. Ran with the same crew. I was a year older than her, and we never dated or anything. We were just friends, and I went off to college. She did her thing, and then we reconnected after college. It was like, oh, hey, this makes sense. Cool.
In Whittier or in Seattle? Or
So after college, I actually beach bummed it for a year down in San Clemente. Worked for a youth summer camp and surfed and just hung out. And she ran into one of my friends, and I got her number from him. I actually prank called her, believe it or not. To like, she didn't know I was calling her. It was just like a fun
Before
joke.
caller ID.
Yeah, before caller ID, and she almost hung up, and then finally told her who I was, and then like the next day we started hanging out. That was it. Kind of crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was when we were like, I don't know, God, we've been married 10 years, so we were only like 24, 25, something like that. Yeah. Crazy.
And you guys were, and was she here in Whittier too, or
she was living in Whittier, going to school at Long Beach State to become a teacher. So she was commuting. I was living in San Clemente, so she used to work at Roadhouse Grill, and so I'd come down here to hang out with her and get free breadsticks, and then she'd cruise out to San Clemente and hang out with me. So it was cool, but it was fun because we had so many of the same mutual friends, you know. So it wasn't like there was no awkwardness. Like, oh, here's my best friend. I like her best friend. Literally grew up across the street, basically from me.
Nice.
So
that's crazy, man.
Yeah. So Whittier just kind of does that, man.
Yeah. Small town.
And again, in terms of obviously all your traveling around, you know, out of all the cities that you've been to, like what brings you back to Whittier? I mean, because
community. You know, like it just feels like home. There's like I had a good experience growing up in Whittier, and I want the same for my kids. And we have a lot of friends here, family's still here. So just like when you go away, there's things that you miss that you take for granted. Like we didn't have friends we could just on a Sunday say, hey, cruise over for a barbecue, like come hang out or whatever. We had friends up there. They're still going to be lifelong friends, but it's just different. You know, it's just different. And so I think we just had this like calling to come back to where we grew up, and we both had good experiences with schools and everything here, so why not give that to our kids too?
And I think it's the same feeling that we've heard from a couple of people we've interviewed is they chose Whittier because it's a place where you could raise family, and it's kind of like a family-friendly environment or city.
Yeah.
Which
schools,
is cool,
schools are great.
Yeah.
I mean, you like all the elementary schools in like the East Whittier district, like you can't go wrong. I'd be happy with them in any of those schools or middle schools or high schools. So that's pretty unique.
Very cool.
So what is Dude Be Nice?
What is Dude Be Nice? I'll give you like what it is, how we define it, but I think it's more important probably just to like understand how we got there, because it's kind of just on the surface. There's just more to the story. So what we are today, and we've evolved. If anybody has a business, it's like most people know that kind of who you are kind of evolves with the market and as you discover yourself. And so as it stands today, Dude Be Nice is what we call an experiential platform. We're kind of a lifestyle brand built to inspire people to treat themselves and others better. And we do that mostly through video content. That's kind of how people know us. We tell stories. We travel all over the nation now, all over the world, kind of sharing stories that uplift other people's stories, and kind of we highlight people that, ultimately I think every person wants to embody in some way because they're amazing people. They may not be famous. They may not be rich or whatever. We share their stories, and that kind of has trickled down to organizations, people being like, I want to be a part of this vibe, this brand. And so schools, organizations across the country now use our brand as like the backbone of their culture. So let's say Lucerna High School is like, hey, or even more recent example, Ocean View Elementary. They're like, we want Dude Be Nice to be like what we're known for, or Leffingwell or Murphy Ranch, all these elementary schools. So we've developed resources. So schools, organizations, maybe a CrossFit gym, Google can make Dude Be Nice kind of like their cultural calling card. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And so, from a business standpoint, how we make money is we have sponsors that sponsor our content. We have these stories that have reached now millions of people that brands like Red Robin or other big brands are like, we want to be a part of that. And then we also sell. People are like, well, I want a shirt that says Dude Be Nice, or I want something that like brings it together. So we sell a lot of different merch and like stickers and that kind of stuff nationwide and worldwide now to people that are like, I want to be a part of this thing. So that's kind of Dude Be Nice as it stands, high level experiential platform built to inspire people to treat themselves and others better. But
how did you guys get there?
Yeah, how did we get there? This is really, I tell people this brand's a culmination of like my life experiences, really. And the people that work with us. My wife works with us now. She used to be a teacher. She works with us, and a lot of people know Veronica from the Dude Be Nice team. My career started in journalism where I was like a television news producer. And if you've watched the news lately, world kind of sucks, it seems like, right? And I was responsible as like a 21-year-old kid to tell these stories of like all the negative crap that's happening in the world. That was my job, right? I was behind the scenes for CBS, like 21 years old. Like this is my dream job, but I got like totally burned out. Like, what am I doing? Like, I was looking forward to other people's really bad days. And so I was like, I want to do something more meaningful. I'd worked for like a summer camp when I was in college and done youth leadership type of stuff. So I went and worked for a summer camp I had a relationship with. That parlayed into working for the San Francisco 49ers, one of their agencies that does marketing. Met someone there that brought me up to Seattle, T-Mobile, and then through that relationship, I came back down and worked for a digital marketing agency in LA. So all these experiences, I learned what I like, what I don't like. What I like is working with young people, which I get to do a lot with Dude Be Nice. 2, telling stories. I did that at the news station, but the news station was not very fulfilling for a lot of different reasons.
Usually
and it's only gotten worse. Obviously, that was a long time ago.
And that's the good story is the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's a quick segment of,
and everyone's already zoned out. Yeah, it's funny how we do that, right? It's like, okay, we all knew in that business we're going to bum people out for 28 minutes. Yeah. So we're going to the last 2 minutes we're just going to say something good about the world. Yeah. And 3, the whole idea of building a brand is interesting. So that's how Dude Be Nice was born. I was like, okay, I've got all these experiences. I know what I want the world to be more like. I know what I want to be more like, even though I'm not perfect and I'm still not perfect in this journey. But like, very end of the day, like, if we're just like give people respect and listen and talk to each other, that will heal so many of our problems. And what if we create this brand that like does that? So that's kind of the journey to this. But it's, you know, it sounds kind of like a fairy tale, but anybody who's had their own business knows it's hard. You know, when I started this, it was like, I'm going to quit my job. We're going to be good. I had money saved up in the bank that I'd worked hard for. I'm going to use that money as needed. And then that money depleted very quickly. Yeah. I wasn't taking a paycheck for like 2 years trying to make this thing happen. So it's been hard. It's been a hard journey, but it's been pretty cool to see where we're at.
So what does a normal day or week look like? Is it more content creation? Is it more connecting with the sponsors to pay the bills?
Good question. So it's all those things. I've been – so it's what day? It's April something right now. I've been last week was the first 5 consecutive days that I was home, like in the office at home since January. So traveling. And so most of the time I'm on the road. And when I'm on the road, I'm either creating a video, like telling someone else's story. I'm speaking at a school, like kind of evangelizing what Dude Be Nice is, how do you make it your thing, or I'm out like selling what we do, who we are. And so I've in the last 3 months, I've traveled, I think like 35,000. I've flown like 35,000 miles. I've gone to probably like 10 states. I'd have to look back at my calendar, but I've been to the Dominican Republic, Africa. We were in Ghana, Africa, filming a new story, and everywhere in between in the U.S. I was in Dallas 2 weeks ago, Chicago before that, Wisconsin. I don't even remember. So it's out there building the brand and telling people who we are.
And where does the name Dude Be Nice come from, though? Like how
the logo name? Actually, people always assume I created it. I didn't. Dude Be Nice. I was actually, when I was working at a marketing agency in L.A., I was trying to start another little side hustle with my uncle. It was actually a men's underwear brand. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. We thought it was going to be like men's underwear for like that every guy kind of thing, not just like you don't have to have a ripped body or whatever. Yeah. We're going to have like models of all shapes and sizes. Yeah. It was going to be fun. But in that, the designer we hired to help us was wearing a shirt, Dude Be Nice, and he's like, I was like, what is this? And he's like, I've sold a few shirts. It's part of kind of my larger line. It's part of my like assortment. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. And he's like, I'd love some help. And so how it started was I was kind of helping him, and then started putting my own money, time, and just kind of fell in love with this brand. And so it was kind of we came to a point where it's like, okay, either this is like I need to run with this thing, or it's going to just be dead because I'm spending too much time and money and effort. And so he kind of passed the torch to me, and that's where it was born. But when it started, it was just a T-shirt company, and it's become T-shirts part of what we do, but really it's a platform.
But what's the meaning behind like the phrase "dude, be nice"? Like,
what I loved about it is like everyone gets it. It's disarming. It's not just for guys, not just for girls. Like dude has become a very gender neutral term. Like you can call her a dude, him a dude, that pencil a dude, like whatever. Dude. Everything's a dude. Or like, dude, this coffee, dude, why aren't you working today? When you're talking to your coffee maker, whatever. I just thought it was like disarming. It wasn't like too judgy, like just be nice or be nice. I don't know. There's just something about it that I was like, that's like a perfect lifestyle. It's cool. People get it. People remember it. Like as a marketer, I saw the reaction I had. And anytime you walk down the street wearing a dude be nice shirt, you get a reaction. Yeah. It's always positive. It's that's cool, that's funny, that's whatever. And I was like, that's
it reminds someone to be nice.
Yeah,
I mean,
and honestly, like I had the reaction. It's like when I was wearing it first, I was like, I can't be. Can I cuss?
Sure.
I can't. It's hard to be an ass when you're wearing this shirt. You like it reminds you to like treat people up, but being nice sometimes you have to work at it. And you end up there's a lot of benefit from it. So
yeah, the accountability is definitely high when you're wearing a be nice shirt and you're being mean.
Totally.
Someone's gonna look at you and be like,
read your
this
shirt.
Doesn't match.
I mean, and I get it. Like my wife will be like, do you remember what company you're the CEO of when I'm being a jerk? And I'm like, yes, okay, I'm working on it. So it's not. This isn't for perfect people. It's just for people that are like, all right, the world needs more of this, like kindness and inclusivity and gratitude, and that's all it is. And I think people want it, and we desperately need it more than ever.
So when you're saying that you go and speak to like schools about your message, what is that message like?
So when I go to speak to schools, it's not like I don't really share. It's not a promotional tool in a sense. Like it's not just like this is dude be nice and what we do. I share my story. I talk about how my words and actions have negatively impacted people in life, and they positively. And you kind of get to choose what story you want to tell and what brand you want to build for yourself. And so that's kind of the challenge I give to people. It's pretty honest and just open about, it's not like this dude be nice guy comes in and it's just like preach kindness. And no, it's like I've been a jerk, and here's how it's impacted people. I've been pretty cool to people. Here's how it's impacted people. What direction do you want to go? And so that's kind of my message. And then when I have more opportunity to talk, I talk about the journey of like building a business and all those things that are, not necessarily taught very well in school.
So when a school contacts you to come and do some kind of campaign for them, like what does that look like?
So my wife's kind of become the community relations director per se. And so they contact her and just say, hey, we want this brand to kind of be infused into our school culture, and they contact her and they like book me. She's kind of like my agent at the same time, and like books me as a speaker. And it's not just schools. I've spoken at this year. I spoke recently at a $1 billion medical company, like pharmaceutical company called AbbVie, or I've spoken at like big teacher conferences or whatever. So it kind of varies, and I change up what I say, but people think, oh, you're such a natural. It's so easy, but like I think it's important for people to know. Like it weighs heavily on me. Like I have a lot of anxiety and angst, and it's still pretty uncomfortable. I love it. I love being up on stage and doing that and having an impact. But it's not just like an easy thing for me, which I hope people understand. Like doing things that are uncomfortable are often good for you.
That's where growth happens.
Yeah.
When you do those uncomfortable things.
I mean, even this, doing like a podcast, I do this kind of stuff a lot, and it's been awesome. But like, I still like I care so much about like adding some sort of value to someone's life in these moments. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and it like still is anxiety inducing. And I think people need to talk more about that, because everyone thinks they're so weird when they're in these situations when it's normal.
So are you the one doing all the speaking?
Yeah. So my goal would be to have like kind of like a network of people that share their stories, because I'm one guy and I don't connect with some people the way someone else might. So kind of long-term vision would be to have, people that look different than me, come from different places, more women be a part of kind of what we do, sharing their own story, but through Dude Be Nice. That's kind of the long-term vision. But the cool thing is we get to create all these videos and stories that get to feature a lot of different people as well. And so that's kind of part of what we do. But the videos is really how most people know about us.
There's one I saw that where you guys, and I don't know if you can kind of speak more about this too, is that you guys actually, I don't want to say kind of promote, I don't know what the right word is, but you're essentially showcasing, there you go, showcasing an individual who I think he was a school janitor,
Custodian,
or a custodian, where again you guys did like an interview of students and staff, and they all kind of say good things about the person and how this person deserves, this recognition.
Yeah.
And at the end you guys do like a
surprise.
Yeah, surprise, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, talk about that. Like, how is that part of Dude Be Nice?
Yeah, so I think I mentioned when we first started, it was like T-shirt company. But I've always I used to create videos before YouTube was a thing, and creating videos is like a passion of mine. Stories, and so I always knew that would be play some part of what we do, but I didn't know it would become like the main part. So I was convinced. I was like, yeah, Dude Be Nice is cool. Like, people, maybe it's even gimmicky to some people, but if we really want this to be a brand, we've got to give it depth, right? And so so what we did was I had this idea, actually, when I was still working in corporate America, not even knowing that I'd be doing this someday, I saw people like protesting on the street about something. They could be a great cause, whatever. It didn't matter what they're protesting. But oftentimes when we protest, it's like because you're mad about something, you want change, and that's fine and it can work. But I was like, how cool would it be if you showed up at, like, I don't know, your favorite Starbucks and the barista behind the counter that's always really cool. Like, what if we like showed up there and did like a positive protest and like held up signs of like Sally's amazing or whatever. Like, how cool would that be? So I had that idea years ago, and so when Dude Be Nice started, I was like, how cool would it be to get like kids involved in celebrating people that are not, again, famous, rich, on the cover of magazines, whatever, but, embody this brand and are just awesome. And everyone has those people. Like, at every school, there's that coach or custodian or crossing guard that's like made an impact. And I don't know. It's like I was starting to feel like sick of like, why do we keep uplifting all this negative crap? Let's talk about these people. And so a few years ago, contacted a school. I was like, hey, I want to do this thing at Loera High School in Anaheim. I had a friend that teaches there, and I talked to he's like, come talk to my kids about this. They're like, yes, we have this awesome woman that runs this taco shop across the street. She's super sweet. And we did that. We did like a positive protest. We showed up, hundreds of kids, signs, filmed it, put it on YouTube. And like, I was like, this is going to go viral. Like, it's so cool. Like, I saw the emotion of people. And I remember it got like, I don't know, 500 views or something. And I was like super bummed because I'm like, this is what the world needs. So I was just committed. I'm like, we're going to keep doing this. And that 500 views is now turned into like 50 million. And it's cool because we get to get kids involved in some community type of event. They're doing this cool event. We film it. It's creative, kind of fulfills my desire to tell these stories. And so now, we've done about 25 of those episodes. 50 million people plus have watched these things. And now we just get to do more and more of that. And hopefully it becomes even bigger. Did that answer your question? Kind of?
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say that, you talk about like how that has an impact on a lot of levels. I mean, one of those things that they say is like, if you want people to smile back at you, if you want people to smile at you, you got to smile at them first, right? And it's kind of like that contagious, what do you call it? A smile is contagious, right?
Yeah.
And it's exactly what you're saying, or what you guys are doing, is that now you're kind of giving recognition to that person who's doing good for the community, but it's also going to give that person that kind of extra energy, extra boost to continue doing what they're doing and even raise it a notch, right?
And people that are watching are saying, you know what, I have the same person in my life that maybe they don't think about. You go through life so fast and you don't pay attention to the custodian or the person that helps with this or helps with that. But I think videos like that allow you to slow down and say, you know what, I appreciate where I'm at exactly today.
Yeah. And probably the thing we're most proud of is now, like, we get so many inquiries. Come to my school, come to my community. We just can't, be everywhere. But the coolest thing now is literally every day, we're getting tagged on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, where people are creating. We call it the Dude Be Nice project. They're creating their own Dude Be Nice projects for
that's really
and we
cool.
see it in the news is is covering it. It's cool, like it's this cool trickle down that's happened because we started this thing that no one really watched at first, and now it's like, I mean, schools from the Dominican Republic to Seattle are doing these projects, and so I mean that's the coolest thing of all this. Like whether this works out, and since we sustain this business for 50 years or it dies tomorrow, I can look back and be like, that's pretty cool.
So for the person that's listening and they put out that first video, second video, what allowed you to keep going?
Maybe stubbornness. I think when I quit my job, and I just I feel like we can't lose, we just have to keep going. Like we just put so much into it. I mean, if there weren't consistent signs that were always like you're on the right track, meaning like people saying they're impacted, or the YouTube comments, or somebody wearing our shirt or whatever, like at some point you got to be like, all right, maybe this isn't the right thing. But I think there's always like something that tells me like, okay, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. And like to my demise sometimes, because even when it's really tough and I'm just like, I just want to go back and get just a job and kind of have benefits and all the things that I used to have, healthcare and like a consistent paycheck. I don't know. There just continues to be these cool moments. Every time I feel like that, I swear, and I believe in God, and like I think there's this bigger thing out there looking after me and my best interests. And I feel like every time I'm like down, it's like, God has my back, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna keep rolling.
Was there a turning point, or maybe something happened that you said, you know what, I think we got something here?
There were a lot of moments. I mean, I remember like one of the first times we ever like brought T-shirts to an event with a bunch of youth, and like we sold out, and I was like counting money like on the floor, and I was like, people like this. That was a sign where I was like, okay, this is real. And then I think the first time we had a video kind of go viral, that was like a payoff, like, oh, we could really do this thing. We could really do this. But, we're still figuring it out. But it's been a pretty wild ride.
Where do you see it going?
Our number one goal is to tell more stories. And, from a business standpoint, we're just looking for partners that are kind of like-minded. Like we have a big partnership with Red Robin, the burger joint. They sponsor a lot of our projects. So our goal is to find more Red Robins in the world that are like, hey, we love what you're doing. We want to be a part of this. We want to put our stamp on it. And, because then that allows everything to trickle down and inspire more people to do this thing that we're trying to promote. So 5 years from now, I hope to have multiple kind of video episodic type of series, and continue to do a lot of like youth-centered type of events all over the world. That's the goal. Yeah.
Do you have partnerships with any of the local like nonprofits, or Boys and Girls Club, anything?
We've worked. We don't have like partnerships per se, but I spoke at the Boys and Girls Club in Whittier a couple years ago, and we did a couple cool events there. And we've worked with a lot of different nonprofits that have like sponsored us to come into their communities, like in Wausau, Wisconsin, for example, like random all over the place. You wouldn't believe where I've been. It's crazy. So we don't have like a partnership per se. There's an organization called Active Minds that we donate money to, that promotes mental health awareness, but nothing like really super official.
Is there anybody that you're kind of setting your eye on? Is that
brands?
Yeah, like you say, man, this would be a great, like, either partnership.
Jesse's trying to plug himself
or synergy
right
or something like that. Like.
Have you ever heard of Remo the Realtor?
There you go.
We're hoping to get some money from him.
Let's do it.
He bought his checkbook today.
Yeah,
so.
I got
we need a
$200 in my
sponsorship.
wallet.
We'll put your face on everything.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a lot of big brands that I love. Like, I'd love to work with a brand like Patagonia, right? That's like all about, sustainability. If they were like, we want to, do a collab with you, I'd be like, that's dope. But there's big brands.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, is there any like synergy wise that you would say, you know what, we would complement each other in that sense?
I think we would complement any brand that's looking to like say, hey, we care about making a positive impact at a very cliche level. So any brand like that, whether it be, we used to have a list of like all the brands we'd love to work with. Even there's like big companies that are really focused on diversity. Like airlines, for example, we travel a lot, creating more of like a travel-esque business show, like American Airlines or Southwest is a great company. Who else? American Express. We're looking at potentially doing something with them, hopefully. So yeah, I mean, any brand that's like we want to be a part of what you're doing, you know, with that aren't, you know, harming the world in some obvious way would be great.
And I ask this because I truly believe that, like, the more you say it and the more you speak about it, like,
totally.
It's interesting that there's only 4 of us here, but like the connections that we all have between, like, all of us, I think it goes beyond this room. And you'd be surprised. I mean, it's you'll have somebody listening to this and be like, man, like, that'd be great. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty much how everything has ever happened. The connections, or, you know, some relationship that you had that was positive and then turned into something big. Like, this is kind of a cool story. So when I was at T-Mobile in their marketing department, I was just like a low-level marketing manager, and our CMO, her name's Denny Post. Our CMO at the time, her name was Denny Post. Just like this dynamic, cool woman, knew everyone's name. Like, she kind of took a liking to me, I think, and thought I was doing a good job. Anyway, so she left and went off on her journey. We became Facebook friends probably, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. And she ended up becoming the CEO of Red Robin. And so when she had just kind of seen stuff that I'd been posting and been kind of following along, I noticed she'd like things here and there, and then got a direct message from her a few years ago. It's like, I love this Dude Be Nice project thing. We should totally do something. And she's like, we'd love to sponsor one. And we gave her, like, I mean, we lost money on that first one. We spent a lot out of our pocket, but that turned into, you know, a 6-figure partnership that, you know, continues to this day. Nice. So it's those connections. And I just was always, you know, nice to her. She was nice to me. And here we are.
Unlimited fries for life.
No, man. Do you know how many Red Robin French fries I've eaten in my life? It's crazy. We actually celebrated a potato farmer in Washington that has like this American dream kind of story. His name's Jorge, and we went up there and celebrated him with his family. He's just this cool. He has an amazing like path to the U.S. from Mexico, and anyway, but we got to go into the potato fields where the potatoes for the fries are made, and it was pretty cool.
So we just drop your name at any Red Robin, and they'll give us some free fries?
No, they're going to give you the bill. Like, I'm glad you're back. No. He owes us this much.
Yeah. You pay for the first fries, and then the next one will be free.
No, they've been great, and it's a perfect partnership because their values, like, they literally have burger values that align with exactly what we're about. So brands like that are perfect.
No, I was going to say, I mean, it's a big, again, just positive reinforcement, right?
Yep.
Being in a positive mental state. It could go, it applies to any type of business, right? Or I say business because you're right. You get into these corporate businesses, and it's always you're always talking about the financials, right? Mm-hmm. Whether you're doing good or bad. And we talk about the culture in the office, and that could go in any direction. But when you have something that's very like neutral and uplifting, where anybody could participate, it's contagious. I mean, it just makes sense, you know.
And there's value for business to be a part. Like, if you care about ROI, like, you can, if you're part of good stuff, it pays off. People want to be a part of that. So it's like you can choose to, you know, make a commercial with, like, I don't know, borderline pornography, or you know, do something with us. You know, what's your choice?
And I think it breeds more of that.
Yeah.
So the more of that culture of, you know, Dude Be Nice, it brings more of that and more of that. And it's, you know, and if you have bad stuff in there, it almost kind of weeds it out.
Totally.
Because people don't, you know, if you're really positive and happy, people that are not so excited about life don't want to be around that.
Mm-hmm. And I think we're trying to create, like, cultures of recognition at businesses, and that's, like, a lot of companies we've worked with, like, they've just really amplified that, and it's amazing when people that have been at companies for years finally kind of feel a little bit appreciated. They they become a new person, you know. They all of a sudden their work ethic, even though they've been working hard, they feel appreciated, and it's a big deal.
Again, that's I think the reason why I say it works for that type of environment. But like, again, it's for any environment, right? It's once you give that true recognition. And in our case now, that it could all go on the net and it'll stay there forever. Yeah. I mean, to be able to have that long-lasting recognition is pretty cool.
And that's a cool thing about the internet. You never know, like, when you're going to wake up and all of a sudden one of your videos is, like, popping again for whatever reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we had a video that was on YouTube for 6 months or whatever, had about 50,000 views, and I woke up one morning and it had 6 million.
Nice.
It's like, why? I don't know, but it's pretty cool to see how that just happens just organically sometimes.
How would you know? In the YouTube world, do you get notifications?
Notifications, and our videos, when our videos really take off, it has a direct impact on our sales, like T-shirts, right?
Oh, okay.
So, like that video, I remember that video started taking off. We released it in August. I don't know. Let's call it 2015. Did okay. December 1st, 2015. So a few months later, I guess it was. All of a sudden, we woke up and like our sales were just like every second, beeping, beeping, beeping. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Yeah. And because people were seeing me and some of the students wear Dude Be Nice shirts in this video, and they're like, that's cool. They found us on the internet, and it was during the holiday season, and it like didn't stop for 30 days.
Nice.
It was awesome. So that's kind of how it's just like this direct impact on our merch, which is cool. And like one of the coolest things that's happened recently is did you guys watch Queer Eye? I don't know if you watch Queer Eye. Huge show on Netflix. And Veronica on our team, she had sent their team a care package with Dude Be Nice stuff, and like season 5, or what's season 3, episode 5? Anyway, the latest season just came out on Netflix, and all of a sudden we start getting all these sales. Like, what the heck's going on? And Karamo, one of the guys, main characters in the show, really cool guy. He's wearing our Dude Be Nice shirt on the show, and so it's crazy. I mean, even now, like how that directly impacts your sales because he embodies it. He's like the perfect brand ambassador, and then it's crazy. Like we've already sold out like 3 cycles of that shirt that he's wearing.
Nice,
which is cool.
Do you guys ever have events where you're bringing ambassadors like that to maybe speak to a bigger audience?
Yeah, I mean, our goal would be to have those. Like I said, like a war chest of people that can go speak depending on the
Center.
Audience. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I've got to speak at some pretty big events. I spoke in Texas to about 8,500 people. Wow. Oklahoma once for about 5,000 people.
Wow.
But honestly, I get more nervous doing this with 3 people in a room than I do there. It's weird. I don't know why.
Is it because the audience is so big you can't?
I don't know. I can't. There's some psychological study why, but I can get amped about that and be on, and then I'll be in a one-on-one coffee and be super awkward and weird.
Knock over the coffee.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what it is.
Do you customize the message to specific people or companies or brands? Or
it's been cool when you speak.
Do you have a shirt that says Remo Be Nice?
No. Oh, yeah, we could. Actually, one of the biggest parts of our business is, like I was saying, like Ocean View or Lucerna, these schools and we customize our shirts. So your school name or your organization, let's say, I don't know, what's a business? Chicken Coop, right? Chicken Coop, Dude Be Nice. Shout out to Chicken Coop. I ate there for lunch. So we customize and people buy it in bulk. So schools, organizations, because it's cool when everyone's wearing a Dude Be Nice shirt. Literally, I wish someday, hopefully, we can quantify this. But there's a whole different vibe on a campus or at a job site or whatever. So, like Ocean View has, and Murphy Ranch, Leffingwell, they all have shirts. And Granada that say their school name, their colors, and our brand, and they're official, and they buy them through us, and they buy them in bulk. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So last year, I think 25,000 people, bought shirts of custom across the U.S., which is crazy.
What's the minimum order?
24.
24. Okay.
Yeah, Remo, let's put something together, man.
We'll give you a Whittier discount, 5%.
Right.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
1% if you act today.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, we see these shirts everywhere. It's crazy. Like I've been in airports. I've been in gosh. Everywhere. And
do you go up to the people and say, nice shirt?
Yeah, a lot of times.
Indirectly?
Yeah. I say, thank you for supporting us. And, I mean, I'm not like, I'm the CEO. Yeah. It's like, that's cool. I like your shirt. I just compliment them and just walk away. It's cool. Yeah. There's a kid on my plane last year, wearing a Dude Be Nice hat. And it was just, sitting 2 seats behind me. It was pretty cool.
Reach over and do a selfie.
Yeah. I said, can I take a picture with you? She's like, why? And I was like, I just know someone that works there.
I'm a little creepy.
I know someone I was like, I'm an old guy. You're teenagers. This is weird, but just can I please take a picture with you? Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And stickers are everywhere.
What's the next phase for you guys?
Tell more stories, man. We're working on, I told you I went to Africa. We're working on a new series where we highlight entrepreneurs like doing positive things in their community, but like all over the world, not just in the obvious places where people build businesses. So my goal would be to find a partner or sell it as like a TV show and do that. Like if I could travel with my family and like the people tightest with me and make it like a work trip at the same time, that's like ultimate goal in life, which has been cool.
I think you're onto something. And the reason why I say that is you remember that whole house makeover project?
Yeah. Extreme Home Makeover.
There you go. It's exactly I should say it's exactly the same thing. But the feelings you get after watching something like that is so awesome.
Yeah.
Like that
and it's
it
cool.
could become something.
And the goal is always, how do we get the community involved in it as well? You know, because if they participate and feel empowered to be a part of that, that's how you change the culture of a place and a community. When you like do good things together, it's a pretty powerful thing, you know.
And that story lives on and
on forever.
On. Yeah,
like that's a cool thing. My kids, they'll be able to, again, whether Dude Be Nice is dead tomorrow or continues on, like when they YouTube, you know, or whatever platform they're on 20 years from now, like they'll get to see that stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So when somebody calls you, do you answer the phone? Do Be Nice?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Like, I just called you.
I was just
like,
calling. Yeah.
How do you know who I am?
Hopefully, if they're calling, they kind of know. They kind of know the deal. But it's funny. When I answer the phone, sometimes I'm like, that sounds weird.
Yeah. They're like, what?
Yeah. But
like, you don't know me.
You don't know me. Who don't judge me.
Yeah, I am nice.
Yeah. Well, it's funny though. And then we have to wrap. We had to update some information at our bank, Citibank, the other day, and we kept getting these calls from this guy, and, you know, I was kind of like forward, and finally I got this guy, and I wasn't the nicest guy, right? And he's like, hey, you need to change, you know, your account's going to be closed, or you need to make these updates, and I was like, how do I know you're like a real person, you know? I was just kind of being not that nice to him, right? He's this poor guy just doing his job. He's like, oh, and by the way, Mr. Camalich, I love your videos. Like, I've been the biggest fan for a long time. And I'm like, oh, like, sorry, man. Like, sorry I was such a jerk. Like,
I'll send you a shirt.
Thank you. I'll send you something. But you never know. Like, that's why it's important, just to, like, try to be cool to everyone, because you never know how your paths are going to cross.
So
yeah. Yes.
This town and this age. I mean, everybody has a video camera with you, and it's
yes.
Everyone's connected one way or another.
That's right, man. That's right. The last thing we want is the news is going to be like, CEO of Dude Be Nice was not nice today.
I know. I mean, that's like I'm not perfect. Like I get it wrong, but I think most of the time I like truly am interested in other people and try to be cool to people. So hopefully you'll never see that. Hopefully you'll never see that on the news, or it's going to be a goodbye, Dude Be Nice.
Yeah. Dude Be
awesome.
mean.
Yeah, start a new brand. Dude, don't do what I did.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, we got some Whittier questions for you.
Yeah.
Toughest questions of the day here.
All right.
So when you're grabbing a bite to eat or maybe some dinner, what are some of your go-to spots?
Oh man.
You mentioned the chicken coop.
Yeah. So I like the chicken coop. You know, being in this building, I go to Mr. Sandwich a lot, and I forget what's the guy's name that owns Mr. Sandwich. I just like him. He's a nice guy.
New guy, right? Or you mean the guy behind the?
Yeah, register. He owns it, right? Or no? Anyways, Mr. Sandwich, and their staff's always super nice to get a good sandwich. I like azabu for lunch as well. Just like I tend to go to places where people make you feel welcome. It's like a pretty simple concept, you know. Even if the food's not perfect, you're like, at least I feel like you know they want me here. Yeah. So I like to go there for lunch.
David is the guy who's making the sandwiches.
Yeah, David, and then the guy behind the register. What's his name? I always forget. I don't know. He knows my name though, so I should know his. It's not cool. For dinner, we like to go. I mean, I love a good bottle room burger. Flight is great as well. Yeah.
And if there's something that you think is missing in the city, maybe something you go.
Don't forget to mention about your fries, because.
Oh yeah, I love. We do go. My daughter loves Red Robin, so we go there all the time. I love Red Robin too, but that's her jam. Yeah. If something that's missing, Skateland. Skateland's missing. We need a new skating rink in Whittier. Kids need that memory to get their hearts broken like I got. Because no one would hold my hand.
Well,
You
they
just
will.
fall by yourself.
Yeah, so they will, but
Yeah.
It was your buddy picking you up, right?
Yeah, I'll say like a skating rink. Stick with that.
And what's one of your fondest memories of Whittier?
Oh my gosh, I have a ton of good memories from Whittier. Fondest memories. I will say probably my fondest memories are when I was a senior in high school. I had a really good group of friends, and like a lot of us partied the party thing early on, and we kind of just were like, you know what, like we're kind of over that senior year, and so we would get together and play a game. We called it Funny, and we just like literally, your job was to make other people laugh. If you laughed out loud, you'd have to be up on stage. And so those guys they're all Whittier guys, still some of my best friends today. They've all had like amazing careers. Adam Snyder is part of that group. He played for the 49ers for 8 seasons. My friend Aaron Schaefer, he's a cop in San Luis Obispo. Nick Alarcon, Lee Perrine. We have a bunch of guys that like Bobby Sullivan, a bunch of guys, Richard Oliveris, Chris Oliveris, Mike Miller, all these guys that used to play.
Don't leave any of them out.
I know, man. I'm thinking, we have a group text that we're always just making fun of each other, so I want to make sure I don't forget anybody. But yeah, just playing games.
Was there anybody in that group that like you go back and you're like, man, this Dude Be Nice shirt would have been good for you way back when?
Me, a lot of times.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, depending. Yeah, there's definitely people that I'm like, I wish Dude Be Nice was like more a thing when I was in high school. But like when I share my story, I talk about times that I'm not proud of, like a kid that came to our school. We were just like mean to him, you know. He ended up leaving our high school because we were such jerks. And then, you know, but there's other stories of, you know, me bringing someone under my wing or my friend's wing who, you know, wasn't, you know, didn't feel like they were the coolest kid or was having a bad experience and being like, hey, we're going to make it better for you. So I had both of those for sure.
And with technology nowadays, that Dude Be Nice is going to be a more Dude Be Nice online, right? Like it's...
Yeah. I mean, that's where kids are the meanest. Not just kids. I take that back. Adults are probably the worst to each other online. We call it keyboard courage, where you say things you would never say to someone in real life, but you've got this courage to do it behind the keyboard. And that stuff, like, people are like, this is no joke. Kids are like killing themselves because of that. Like, suicide among teenagers is pretty high statistic, and it's scary because kids are being told literally, go kill yourself, or you know, being bullied so bad in that space, it's pretty tough. Or a kid's picture gets taken, you know, at a party or whatever, or you know, someone sends a private photo to each other, and then that goes viral on a campus. Like, that stuff's scary and can like really mess people up.
Yeah. No, tough times, man. Tough times.
But there's good things happening too.
Exciting times.
That's right.
There's a lot of I think kids are pretty awesome these days. They care a lot about each other, so I think that we're gonna be all right.
Yeah. Last thing, if you could give some advice to a kid who's listening, what would you say to kind of get his Dude Be Nice on?
I'm not going to give advice to like a kid that's like a punk, I guess, because I mean, there's room for that too. But if there was a kid listening that like feels lonely, like this is the worst time in their life, like, you know, no one sees them, like they don't matter. I think I just want them to hear and believe that they do, because there's a lot of kids out there that are struggling with things, you know, whether it be their sexual orientation or their just identity in general. And I think I'd want those kids just to know, like, it's gonna be all right. You matter, and you know, people like myself will hire you someday in a job and will look out for you, you know, to make sure that you feel loved.
Nice.
Yeah.
And be nice.
And be nice. Yeah. Treat people like it's not that hard.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man.
Do you have advice?
I do, and it's the same advice I tell my kids when they wake up and when they go to sleep. It's like, treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, the golden rule.
And it's big because especially nowadays with like so much stuff that is going on at school, even though they're not connected through the internet every day or the way we do as adults, they get some stuff through that is just like, man, like that's just not the way you treat people, you know? And so that's my thing, is just, you know, remembering that it's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
You know? So.
I would say mine might be, when you live in gratitude.
Yeah.
I think that's so it's. I know sometimes it's tough to be grateful for when you feel like you don't have it, but for me, every time I've traveled in some of the third world countries I've been to, you see people's situation and you come back here and it's like we live in paradise, and so I think a lot of that is just living in gratitude, even though it might be tough at that time. The sun will always come up. So
we're pretty fortunate to live in this country, even with all the craziness that's happening.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. My dad's an immigrant, actually, from Mexico, so he's kind of, believe it or not, and he always instilled that in me. Like, dude, I was so lucky that my family took that risk to bring me to this country. With all of our issues, we're pretty fortunate to have the opportunity we have here. That's why so many people want to come here, because you can still do whatever you want, no matter who you are, where you come from.
Yep. Your parents are immigrants, right?
Yep.
From where?
My mom, yeah.
From Mexico?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Same, and again, it's one of those things where, like, if they would have never taken that chance and do what they've done for us, I mean, I don't know where the hell we would be then. I mean, and who knows? I would have been in the same situation they were in now, which is coming over, and
Yeah.
But it all comes down to what you decide to do once you're here, or once you've seen that opportunity open up.
Yeah. My parents migrated. My dad left, and I have this letter saved. So my dad got this letter of recommendation, which is a really inspiring thing. He was 47 years old. He started off he's an engineer. I'll just read it because I think it's the coolest thing ever.
Where'd they come from?
Egypt.
Egypt.
So this is a letter when my dad left the country. His employer wrote this letter so he can get a job here. And so the letter says, Cairo Ice and Refrigeration hereby certifies that engineer Marco Said, graduated electrical engineering from Facility of Engineering in Al-Shaham University, has joined our company as of September 1996. He graduated in a position beginning as an engineer in the technical department till he reached the position of General Director of Technological Affairs. He left the country on his own request. And that's at 47, leaving with 4 boys, coming to America.
So you were born
in Egypt? Yeah.
Wow.
And my dad came after giving up that position to come work in a convenience store for like crazy hours, him and my mom, until, so
How old were you?
And no pay,
6.
right? Like,
You were 6.
Yeah.
So you didn't speak English at all?
There was some English and then some was it ESL classes, and but again, coming from gratitude, one of the scariest or that pivotal moment is I was 16, 17 years old, and my dad in a convenience store, and it was up the street. He got robbed. And the ambulance and the cops had come over because something happened. And since at that point, it was like, if you don't realize the opportunity that you have here and what was given up for you to have that opportunity, it's pretty powerful to have gone through that and just see what someone sacrificed. So it's So going back to it, it's being
it's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite perspectives, just speaking about gratitude, and I got this from Remo's wife, Eva Macias, who has Wealthy Wednesdays at 7 p.m. You can go to @Eva Macias on Instagram or @Eva Macias on Facebook. Shout out to Eva. But anyway, there was she had a video talking about bills. Like, how many of you hate paying your bills? Where do you pay your bills? But so I had said, like, man, I hate paying my bills. Like, I hate it. Who likes being an adult and who likes having bills? Well, I like my phone. I like my car. I like all of these special things that I have the ability to afford, right? So it's coming from that place of gratitude, like shifting your perspective, and going that way with life. And I would agree with what all of you said with your advice, to give to people. It's like, the golden rule is about perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
So totally.
So, that's like the word of the year for me, perspective. Just like going to Africa and, just it helps you shape your perspective. That's why you got to go more places, talk to more people.
And that's key, because I think that's what shapes us as individuals, but also what kind of maps us out in terms of the future. Because without those experiences, I think we would end up in the same position that we originally started with, and not really going anywhere. So Like in Remo's case, he wouldn't have never been Mr. Remo the Realtor.
Well, I'll share with you one last quote because you said
Wait,
that.
who coined that term, Remo the Realtor?
I mean, Remo's the first four letters of my name is Ramon, and it's spelled Remoun. And my nephews couldn't pronounce it when they were just butcher it, and so Remo was easier. And for the last 10 years, and so it was just I'm in real estate, and it just kind of rolls off the tongue.
It works.
And, yeah,
It's branding, man. I love it.
But it's funny because after I met this guy, when I pick up the phone or I talk to somebody, I'm like, it's Jessie the Architect. Like, it's just,
I know.
like, it was through
I'm Brent
this
the Dude
whole,
Be
like-
Nice guy. For most people don't even know my first name. They're just, oh, that's the Dude Be Nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could be worse. Yeah.
As long as like me, they're like, the Architect's your last name? I'm like, no, come
You should
on.
change
you
it.
to associate.
Like Meta World Peace. Just
Yeah,
change
exactly.
it, man. Change your last name to the Realtor. That'd be epic.
I think that's copyrighted, trademark.
Maybe.
Trademark.
What are you going to say, Remo?
But if it's your name, I don't know. Well, I don't know. So when you said about so this quote that I saved a couple days ago, the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adopt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man.
Nice.
So I say that was we're just throwing up good stuff everywhere.
No,
So-
I know. That's
Grammable.
dropping gems. I love it.
I was going to say, man, that's awesome. I mean, maybe that's episode 2, you know, that we
Yeah.
get back together and we just go into like
Well,
more of
I don't have to go very far.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, those of you that are listening.
We'll
to
just
it,
open up a little
other
hole
side.
right there. Jeez.
That'd be cool.
We'll make a hole and just get it going.
Dude, anytime you want a Topo Chico, this is a brand I want to sponsor. Dude, be nice.
There you
Do you
go.
guys like
Ah.
Topo Chico?
Yeah,
I haven't had
mineral
bottle-
water.
I
Dude,
mean,
come
It's
on.
seltzer.
You're
Belly
Mexican?
up?
Yeah,
Get
but
with
never
it.
have it.
Yeah,
What is
belly
it?
up,
This
local
is-
fixture.
This is the jam, man. It's mineral water, but it's from the springs of Monterrey, Mexico. I feel like I don't know.
No
Yeah,
way.
they have it at Vallarta.
Yeah, that's
gotta
where I got
check
it.
it out, man.
$8.99.
Yep,
You saw
yep,
that?
that's right.
$8.99 for
I
a
got-
12 pack.
for a 12.
That's a good deal, Vallarta. Keep that going. I drink like 4 of them a day. It's really bad. I mean,
Nice.
I guess it's not Coke.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Do you ever use a soda machine, like where you
The Soda Stream or something?
Oh,
Yeah, Soda Stream?
No, I haven't done it. Is
Oh,
it
we
good?
have. Oh, because we used to drink Perrier all the time,
Yeah.
and we would pop those.
expensive,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so that thing is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to put one at the office, and we have one at the house. I mean, just in the car.
This stuff. I used to hate mineral water as a kid, and now I just
Yeah.
pound it. It's my jam. It's an expensive habit.
Yeah.
It's
like
a good
80.
habit, man.
Yeah.
It's a good habit. Well, thank you. And how do people find you on social media?
Yeah,
or
so
how they...
check out our videos, our Dude Be Nice videos. You can just go to lots of places. DudeBeNice.com is where you can get shirts and watch some of our videos. Instagram is at Dude Be Nice LA. Some kid in Morocco has at Dude Be Nice and won't give it up without us paying him. So we're like, we'll just stick with the LA. Or on Facebook, just search Dude Be Nice, and then on YouTube, you can watch all our videos. Just search Dude Be Nice, and you'll find them. You'll find our page. I think it's official Dude Be Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. And I have my own Instagram, but it's just like a bunch of pictures of my kids in my garden, so you don't need to follow that.
Yeah. No, awesome, man.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much for coming on. And
Yeah,
sharing your
thanks for having me.
story.
I'm glad we finally made it work.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
I like it. It's nice for you guys to do this. It's cool.
Thank you.
We'll have to do it again.
Cool. I'm down anytime.
There you
Fun.
go. Done. Thank you.
Bye, Whittier.
See you later, Whittier.